Yerp, it's Perp back with another video, and I just got done checking out the first episode of A Murderer at the End of the World. This is a brand new mini-series coming from FX, and this was such a bizarre first episode, but very intriguing. It kind of gave me the same feeling I got when watching Devs. That was I think that came out back in 2020, but FX normally does really well with their limited series. So I'm just going to give you my thoughts on this first episode and do my best to kind of break down this episode as well. And if y'all hit the like button and support the content, I'll put out episode 2, because I'm definitely going to be watching episode 2 very soon. But yeah, let's get into this one. Episode 1, we get introduced to our main character, Darby. And it starts off with her at this book reading. She is really into true crime. She wrote a true crime novel based on an actual experience she had. And to kind of give you a little bit more of her backstory, she started off as a hacker, you know what I'm saying? And she's really into just tech and whatnot, which I was kind of surprised by, just, the use of tech in this episode. It's very fascinating. That's why it kind of gave me Dev vibes. So she's kind of breaking down her story, how she met Bill. And Bill is somebody she met over the internet. They had the same interests. They decide to try to find this missing person. And at first, Bill was kind of just on the fence about it, because he's like, we're just gonna go to this serial killer's house and, try to discover. And that's her whole niche, is she's really into just finding missing people, hacking into certain databases to kind of find information. They even kind of coined the term Gen Z Sherlock Holmes, so that kind of breaks it down what type of character she is. But once they kind of introduce you to who Darby is and her backstory and how she got to where she is now at that podium doing this book reading thing to a crowd, and her whole relationship with Bill, because Bill's a very important character in this first episode. That is definitely going to be kind of the jumping off point, or the thing that's going to be the thing that the thing that she has to pretty much figure out throughout the series. Now, after she gets done this book reading, she goes home. It's like a regular day for her. She's looking through cases, listening to emails and stuff like that, or just listening to voicemails. Then she gets this bizarre email from a person she was talking about at her book, at the book reading. That is Andy Rodson's assistant, Ray. And Andy Rodson is pretty much like a Steve Jobs. He's a really big tech guy. Everybody knows who he is. He's a billionaire, you know what I'm saying? And he's kind of very famous, but she's more inspired by his wife, Lee Anderson. So then, she's reading through this email. She's trying to confirm if this is some type of hacker or if this is some type of joke, because she just feels like, what is the likelihood of somebody that big just reaching out to me? And once she kind of confirms that this is the person that they say they are, Ray says yo, download this app and you'll be able to talk to me. And this was so fucking bizarre. It's kind of creepy at the same time, where Ray's like, yo, let me in. And she puts her phone to the window, and it's Ray. And Ray is pretty much, how they break it down in this, is an AI, and not an artificial intelligence. Andy calls it a alternative intelligence, which is interesting. But it's just so creepy how this AI can be used like a augmented kind of feature. It's weird. It's fucking bizarre. But then Ray pretty much breaks down to Darby Andy wants to invite you out to Iceland with these other like-minded people to kind of discuss the future of technology and just enjoy yourself. You get a first class trip all the way there. You don't gotta pay nothing. She's even riding in a Maybach. Everything just sounds really good on paper, but she definitely kind of feels like there's something off about this place, because it seems way too good to be true. She has to sign like this little, paper of consent. Gotta collect people's cell phones, which that's like a red flag for me. And she hops on this plane. She meets some of our other characters, like there's a filmmaker, there's somebody that works on smart cities, there's somebody, there's all these different types of people. And the way they kind of break it down on the plane, that it's like 5 people were invited by Andy, and then like 4 people were invited by Lee. And that's really interesting. I'm wondering how that's all going to kind of play out throughout the rest of the series. But the 5 people that Andy chooses are more so people that are involved with tech and whatnot. And Darby tries to kind of introduce herself to everybody, even though everybody kind of knows each other, because everybody is somewhat of like a celebrity or somebody that is has some type of name recognition, I should say. So they're flying out to Iceland. And throughout this episode, Darby is starting to have like these flashbacks and stuff with her and Bill back at the house, because they broke into this house and they found the body of this serial killer's first victim, and it come to find out it was the killer's wife that was his first victim. And Bill ends up getting shot somehow and surviving. I'm still kind of like iffy about that whole scenario. Maybe they'll show more of what really went on in that scene. But anyways, she's starting to have kind of visions and a little bit of like some type of like PTSD. You know what I'm saying? They arrive at this place. This is a ginormous facility that's got multiple rooms. It's pretty much like a hotel, and it's in the middle of nowhere. No one can really contact you or anything like that. A lot of fucking red flags before you get there, but it's a lot of people that are a fan or are fans of Andy or even Lee, so it's just like, it's too good of an offer to pass up. And then Andy and Lee kind of introduce themselves to everybody. They also have a son named Zoomer, which I find to be fucking hilarious. And he kind of breaks it down like he wants to innovate with people, like share ideas. But I feel like there's something more malevolent, something more nefarious that is going on the surface. Bill pops up because Bill kind of ditched Darby way back when. And at first I thought like this had to be like some type of vision, or she's just seeing him, but no, he's really there. And after everybody kind of introduces themselves and Andy tells exactly who's who and what do they do, what they contribute, he kind of lets people just do what they want. Just, there's like a hot spring kind of pool thing there. And, Darby and Bill kind of have this conversation towards the end of the episode, kind of trying to figure out what exactly went on and why he left, because he didn't feel like he was strong enough to kind of be there. But he knows Lee for some odd reason. It's a lot of things going on. It's a lot of bizarre. This is a very interesting first episode, I will say, because it leaves a lot of things open, and I hope that it gets answered. Like, why ironically is Bill there and also Darby there? That can't be a coincidence. And also Bill is known, a lot of people are fans of his work because he's like an artist or something like that. So you have that going on. And Bill, at some point in this episode, well, towards the end when they're having this conversation, he says, yo, why don't you just come to my room so we can talk? There's some things I want you to know about. And she kind of says no. But then she kind of retracts that and ends up going to his room. But she knocking on his room, and she's hearing like moaning sounds, and she's like, oh man, he's probably having sex in there. But no, it's just like some commotion going on, and she goes outside to go see in his window what's going on, and he can't breathe. He's losing breath. He's got blood all over him, and then he ends up dying. And that's going to be interesting to see how they're going to play around with that. Is it going to be like Clue, where just one by one somebody ends up dying, or is it just going to be Bill's going to be the main focus, like figuring out what happened to him and what's this place really all about? But that's just my breakdown of this first episode. I can't wait to watch episode 2. That's dope that they put out 2 episodes. It's on Hulu. Y'all should definitely go check it out. It leaves me very intrigued, man. I really hope that this series delivers. It's about 7 episodes, I think, so we'll see how it plays out. If you get around to watching this, let me know your thoughts and what could possibly be going on here at this facility. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to watching episode 2. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Let me know how you guys feel about it. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.